Hello, this is Debjyoti, and I'm preparing this video for this Orchids assessment challenge to create an automated website clone generator. Here is the GitHub that's associated with it, where I've pushed all of my code and I've added the corresponding README, the documentation, wherein I've tried to explain in my terms how I have created a multi-agent orchestrated system using mostly LangChain, LangGraph, and Pydantic, and individual agents supported by the OpenAI GPT 4.0 model, which begin all the way from scraping content from the given link, the given URL that you propose it, and then come all the way back to creating a simple clone of it, built all the way in. It starts all of. I started all of with making it in HTML plus CSS, and then building it in React and JavaScript as well. So a small demo of that over here. Here is the website. For example, I go in over here and I type in, here is the youtube.com, the standard um, page that you see. Here you go off to here, that's already hosted over here, and I'm presently running this over a cloud server that's taken for a really short period of time, so I would really appreciate this getting hosted off quick. It's running on an EC2 instance with around 32 gigs of RAM, so that's all I've got. So once I'm clicking on generate, firstly it uses the Firecrawl API to scrape off all of the content available to free YouTube users. Then it uses another layer, a semantic parser agent, to organize the semantics of the entire screen. It takes in multiple screenshots, time in and time out, in order to get the entire overview of what it wants to build. Then layout generator, component synthesizer to build individual DOMs, to build individual the small snippets that you see on screen, and finally it comes off to here. That's when you try to quite similar to the bolt.new interface, wherein you initially you try npm run dev. This is an equivalent terminal over there, and finally you get something that's hosted locally in in the local SSH server at 5176, and something interface like this over here. On clicking on any of these icons, it redirects you to the corresponding page. Most of this comes off like is built off with the 4.0 model that takes off as hard coded. Since I have been hitting this URL with multiple times, it's already now in cache. I've deployed a very small instance of a Redis cluster that caches your frequent queries, so it comes up fast. But usually, given a completely unknown website, it usually takes anywhere between 80 to 120 seconds to build the complete clone of it. So this is one. You can go to any other video, any other unfortunately, as of now, the video streaming functionality is not quite active, but other than that, you can search of any other video that you want and you will be getting that. You can go up to into this electric cars, the revolution is here, and these are all the file structure. So that's an index.html, package.jsons, src files, data pages, everything, and likewise. So this is how it runs. Yeah. Now, for example, if I have another, I have the LeetCode.com as well. That was another example that we had tried off. This goes off as LeetCode.com, and I go off to generate. It again scrapes using the Firecrawl free API, uses semantic parser agent, which tries to gain the entire semantics of the website. It takes in multiple screenshots and uses the GPT vision model as well in order to understand the pixel to pixel implication of how to build. Moves on into the style transfer agent that's mostly specifying on the CSS styles, color coordinates, and the placements, and finally moving towards terminal. So we have the npm run dev, which boots up the server to this 5177, a different port that's live for this one, and the standard simple template, rather than what you see over here for LeetCode, a clone simple that has four questions, and a very simple sign in and sign out page, a playground that's not quite active. So there's only this problems page that's active, and yeah, if you're clicking on any of these problems, you're actually moved to dummy problem statements and corresponding solutions, and you can there's no compiler added, of course, but yeah, it's a very naive implementation of the sync synchronous events between the synchronous events between multiple threads, and the synchronous events between how they work off together and go out. Even over here, the files are right over here. You can click on any of these files and you will be redirected to the corresponding files, and you can export this entire package, this entire folder directory as a zip file, and you can just bring it to your local. Comes with a readme as well, and you can just follow that readme and get it uh, up and running on your local in Jiffy. Once again, all of these are like frequently hitting queries, so these have been cached in a small Redis cluster that I had deployed. But given a completely new website, it would take a little longer to boot up, but after that, it's good to go. Thank you. That's all from me.